One of the interesting tensions that we notice now with AI, depending on how we use it, and I'm talking mostly about content generation, not around protein folding and medicine, that's another discussion, but around content creation, working with people and customers using social platforms, is that the AI models that we look at are facing into the past. They're using what's probable and what's possible to collapse possibilities and give us the median of all of those things. So if I've previously liked a certain kind of music, certain kind of influencer, certain kind of art, that's what I'm going to get more and more of, and it's going to refine and refine until I get a limited amount of choice. So it doesn't expand my horizons, it narrows them. Humans, on the other hand, yes, we take historical inputs, but we invent. There's always an element of chaos, of serendipity, of reaching towards the emergent edges to conjure, to cultivate, and create possible futures that have not yet been dreamt of. And this is where the exciting element really lies. A quote that was widely attributed to Einstein, although we don't really know if he actually said these words, but I love it nonetheless, is that imagination is more important than knowledge, because knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the whole world, stimulating progress and giving birth to evolution. And I think that art is the antidote to automation, that the artist, if we think of this as someone who is expert in the training of perception, this can embrace all kinds of things. It can be new media, it can be marketing, it can be stories, music, branding. Any of these new media art forms are ways in which we can intervene and create better landscapes for us into the future. And this is why content that subverts our expectations is so captivating. Well, this is where we come in, the human factor. And we instinctively understand what we long for. These things are, regardless of culture, gender, we might express them differently, but belonging, emotional connection, and understanding are at the heart of our needs as humans. And to give an example that shows how it's about the ways in which the time and place, so how, where, and when we talk to people, I want to show you this quick example. So Bloom & Wild, a florist in London that posts flowers through the mailbox. In 2019, they received a handful of people, emails requesting to opt out of Mother's Day messages. And so they sent out this email to their entire customer base, 58,000 people. If AI had been doing this, they might have said, okay, it's a fraction, less than 1% of customers, we won't bother responding. But they chose to. They sent an email saying, if you don't want to receive Mother's Day messaging, we'll opt you out, just let us know. This was so impactful that they ended up getting covered nationally by all the big papers in the UK, and they ended up creating what's called the thoughtful marketing movement, of which many brands are now a part, because they put the cares, needs, and context of their customers first. And in unexpected, perhaps emotionally challenging conditions, they were able to surprise and delight customers. And this is because they took a human-centered approach, where we get to decide what kind of future, collectively, we want to build. And so in the face of increasing automation, when we're using AI increasingly in our work, in our private lives, in our organizations, our education, our businesses, our success, not only as individuals and in organizations, but also as society and perhaps even as a civilization, will be determined by our capacity to dream, create, and to connect, and to our ability to envision a future based on shared values around the kind of world that we want to build and pass on to our children.